All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Friday, October 4th. Welcome to those of you that just watched Kinwin Zhang win over Mira Andreeva. We had that one split our women's tennis plays overnight, but I just wanted to note, man, until Mira Andreeva grows up a little bit on the court, I think she's great. I think she's fantastic, but she played that one like an amateur, folks. And Kinwin Zhang got the win to advance to the semifinals in China, but that wasn't the big story, obviously, after last night. What was the big story? The big story was Big Pete Alonso. Sure, there was an exciting football game. We all saw it. I lived it with the boys over at PSR last night. We had our stream here with the guys in the kick chat. We didn't know it was going to go like that in the kick chat yesterday, but we'll figure it out and how to get you guys involved and have that live streaming programming. But it worked out. We ended up back on the regular channel. We didn't anyway. I was over across the street, but the guys were kept it together yesterday in the face of a little bit of adversity themselves with the coverage of the football last night and the baseball. So amazing. Pete Alonso did something that has never been done in the history of Major League Baseball to hit the go-ahead home run in a deciding game. Basically, last night, incredible in the ninth inning, of course, to come from behind to take the lead. So Pete Alonso, a big hero, a big star. Mets advance with the win over the Brewers. Look, hard to fault the kid Williams there on the mound, but with just 3 earned runs on the season, pretty awesome. This pitcher just he decided to challenge one of the best, and it ended up didn't paying off. So good for Pete. He earned it. Pete can go up and down. We know that, but he was there in the clutch in the biggest moment on the road. The Mets, 11. They played. What did they play? 11 straight road games at this point to get to this point. That's pretty impressive for the Mets to overcome that as well against these teams in Milwaukee. Does feel like a bit of a slip there for the Brewers, getting into position and then not being able to hang on there with that lead, man. We did have the Brewers yesterday here on the show, but we did have the under as our premium play yesterday, and it was good pitching for sure from Myers, giving him the 5 innings and into that bullpen. They were doing a great job. Just, man, why do you go with the high heat fastball against a guy like Pete? Got those strong arms. It feels like live and learn. That's it for the Brewers. The Mets will move on here in the postseason. We've got the division matchups basically with the Phillies and the Mets, the Padres and the Dodgers in the National League. Should be thrilling this weekend, and a nice compliment to our college football for sure here this weekend. All right. We can talk about the football game if you want, for sure, last night with the incredible comeback. Kirk Cousins, 500 yards, and the Atlanta Falcons record. The Falcons win 36-30. Nobody likes the overtime rules. Regular season, you know what? Stop somebody. It is a little bit unfair for teams that maybe rely on defense and don't have that explosive power, but could always stop them as well. You could hold them to a field goal, make the game go longer, get a walk-off win last night with that touchdown in overtime. Maybe more impressive was the another drive late in the game there by Cousins to force overtime with 1 second left after they basically failed the previous possession and had to give up the ball back, but they played it right. Hats off to the coaching staff too in that one. They could have opted for a different type of an approach, and that one definitely paid off. I thought Baker, certainly was fine. Everybody said only 180 yards. It was 180 effective yards. His running was out of this world. Opponents do have to kind of prepare for that, but when you give up 550 points in a division game, hey, no one saw it coming. I don't think I didn't anyway. With that total, my premium pick was on the under. That was toast for sure. So maybe you got two, veteran quarterbacks. I don't know what it is about Kirk Cousins and why everyone seems to think that. Have they just been casting this man off as a journeyman for years, or a man who's never made it? A man with 30 fourth quarter, 30 game-winning drives basically in the fourth quarter. They say prime time Kirk. Maybe you could throw it out the window now, but maybe was it ever really a thing? In a lot of those games, Kirk Cousins was playing second fiddle to the other quarterbacks in those games. He has always been on some competitive teams here and there. Yeah, maybe some teams that are, well below 500, but he'd always played the other quarterback in those games, facing the primetime stars a lot of times. So he ended up on the losing end of a lot of primetime football games, but he's been around now. He gets it done late and just a tad bit better than the free agent quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Hey, I call it like I see it. Baker's awesome. We love Baker. You'd take him over more than half the quarterbacks probably in the league, especially this season with his great numbers. But Kirk, been there, done that a little bit. And division game at home, whatever. I was on the winning side yesterday with Atlanta. It was a coin flip, so I'm not going to take a huge victory lap on that one. But they did get the win. The steam was on Atlanta. And they came through with the division win. Like I said on the show yesterday, feels like in the NFC South, 10-7. You get 10-7 in this division, you're going to win it. I'm pretty sure this season. So good Thursday night football game, right? And the thing that I always point to is the ruggedness of the Thursday night game. I think we get that almost every time. Maybe with these two quarterbacks, it was a little bit of easy pickings there yesterday, but still in those Thursday games, you do get some clunkers because of the short rest and all that. So good game yesterday. How about college football? Hey, we had a sweep there with Texas State and Troy. Wasn't easy, was it? With Texas State getting the win and the under. We barely held on. Well, I'm the luckiest handicapper around, so hopefully that's why you're coming to see me every day with my lucky picks. We did give out Texas State here as a big favorite. You might have had them too, over Troy, looking pretty, not Troy like this season, and we did have the under as our premium play. We did split the late game there with Sam and UTEP. Yeah, I took a chance on UTEP, and a few things didn't go their way a little bit with some of the officiating, but they weren't ever going to be good enough over a team like Sam there. So I whiffed on a premium pick yesterday, but we did get there. It seemed like pretty easy with the total over. Faded that steam for sure yesterday in the college games. So, all right. And what else struck your fancy there yesterday? We definitely had a little bit of look there in I went all the way. You guys got me all fired up for the Europa League and the Eurobasket's opener, and we did okay on those picks. I think we came up looking pretty decent. So please pick up my picks over at Winnable. I'll show you about that in just a moment. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Welcome to Team Steam. Welcome to the chat All Stars, and welcome to Sports Money fans here today. I want to say hello. Dre was here first to get the doors open, and then Thomas checks in. He says, good morning. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money Network, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports channel on YouTube, sports betting channel on YouTube. And we're going to deliver more great content here on the channel as we move along, but you're going to catch me here every day right now until further notice. 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific here on the Sports Money Network. Set those notifications. Make sure you join me here. I'm your first look at the sports betting board out of all these YouTube betting shows. Try to just go over the card, let you know what's going on. I'm going to give you some picks as well. Lando's here today. 1K is here. Thank you, 1K. Justin is here today, ready to roll with his Dirty Birds. Yesterday, getting it done. And Robert McCormick, hello and thank you. As always, welcome. Joey Harb here today. Am I lying? Had a great one yesterday there in the chat that I acknowledged. Hello to Humble and Gentle here today. Great to have you around. And also Andrew G, he's ready. We're ready for the start, of the season today in the National Hockey League. We'll preview the game between the Devils and the Sabres. You might know which way I'm going in a game like this, but we'll preview it. We'll talk about it there. And what is Andrew's avatar all about? Is that a betting slip with a bunch of winners on it, it looks like, or something like that? Looks cool. And let's see who else we've got here in the chat. And Cliff Lloyd's here today. He was on the over. I think he's talking about the football game there, it feels like. And let's see what else. What is Thomas saying here? Oh, yep, talking about Captain Kirk in that one. I think a lot of times, when you've been there, seen it and done it, Baker's been around too. We know that, but maybe feels like Kirk's been in a few high leverage situations. Patrick in Ottawa, he's here this morning. Hello, little doggy. And nice to have Patrick here on the start of the NHL season. Who else? Joe Alvarado, good morning and welcome. Joey says, hit that like and smash and all that. And you like that? You like that? I didn't get as excited this time as I did on the last one, but hope you guys were able to join me over there. And I did have a couple of, I don't know how to flop props, maybe not great picks with some of my prop bets. I like to bet the props over there with those guys. Hey, over here I talk sides and totals, and yeah, we did say there at the on the show yesterday that really the only guy that I did like in the props is my top pick, I would say, is Godwin. And yeah, Godwin did pretty okay, but I think he faded in the second half. So, but one thing he did cooperate on was over there on that other show, I gave out a 5-1 winner. I said, take Godwin and London to combine for over 200 yards in the game. Well, they didn't do it. They only combined for 194 yards in the game until overtime. And then London got hot there with those two plays. And really it was, London's replacement that got the eventual touchdown in the game. That was a thrill there at the end of the game. So without London in there, they were still able to get it done there with a great, exciting play, man, at the end of the overtime there with a man that, when looking at yesterday and looking at all the availability for the prop, I mean, I definitely wanted to kind of roll with Kadero Hodge with some type of ATD or, it's easy to say now, but he was definitely underpriced. I mean, I guess that's an obvious thing, but I mean, even underpriced for where he was supposed to land yesterday, I think he should have been someone to look at. But nonetheless, I hit the 5-1 there with those guys making it over 200 yards eventually. And my Lions ready to go. It says, take the Sabres today. This one is in 3.5 hours from Prague in the Czech Republic today. We're starting the NHL season. Get ready. Just 3.5 hours away. We're underway. They'll play one more. And then we still have to wait 4 more days, I think, for the start of the regular season. But that's okay. We get a real live hockey game here, regular season today. Our Tops, good morning as well. And Hugh Janice is here today. Hello, Hugh. Great to have you. You did a great job last night with your contributions on the live stream that I was on. And Andrew G's ready to roll with the puck. I would think, he's looking forward to the game here. And man, it's the Lindy Ruff game, I guess, right? With former coach Ruff taking over now with the former Devils coach going over to Buffalo. So I think that might be part of an angle. Ruff can break down any team. Certainly he's been coaching forever. So see what else we got here in the chat. And before we just kind of get rolling here. Okay. I think you guys had some nice comments there. And I appreciate you guys coming in. So we have a very unique show today, it feels like to me, because I don't know, it feels like there's just different sports and it's not like your typical sports schedule today. So maybe we'll just take a look here and see what we got to preview. But I also want to tell you about my premium picks. Have been pretty good here so far of late. And let me see here if I can't bring that up. Oh, there we go. Yep. Find me over at winnable.com. This is where I'm putting my best picks every day. I come on here, share my picks with you, share some great picks, hopefully get your input as well, see what Team Steam has and all that. But you can check me out with my premium picks right here. There I am at the Winnable app. Let me bring it over here and take a look. You can catch all my premium plays over there. After I'm gone here, I don't just go away in hibernation for 24 hours. Well, sometimes I do, but you can get my premium pick plays here for today, and I got a free package over there as well. You can grab. How about hooking up with me for a month for $20? There, you'll get plays every day from me. On many sports, not just the major sports, but my top plays right there are the premium pick selections, and they're also the VIP picks over here where you sign up for free, and I'll send you more plays over there as well, just like we did here with this match that just completed with Qinwen Zhang winning over Mira Andreeva. The great thing about that match was when it got to a certain point, even if Andreeva would have had anything left to win the match, we were going to cover, because I said lay 3 games with Qinwen Zhang, and she won. She dominated that second set. So unless it went, I believe, 6-2, we were going to win. Maybe it was 6-3, whatever it was. Qinwen Zhang was the better play. So check me out. You subscribe. You can set notifications and get my plays sent to you as I sit here in front of all the games, handicapping games all day like I do, making bets and sending out my best plays to you. Okay, thanks a lot. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. So you can not only get that 20% off there, off that $20. So just shows me that you're supporting me here on the channel. Remember, when I was on that other channel, I was selling my packages for $25, $35, $45 a day. And here, it's just a couple of bucks, because I just want to, keep the work going and everything, and show that's not about the money there too much, but definitely running a little bit of premium pick selections here to keep myself going every day, wake up and get motivated with you to cover all these games. Otherwise, I'd just sit here by myself, by my lonesome. Maybe that's why I'm going on all those shows now, because, you guys are the closest thing to friends I've got. So appreciate you listening to that. And we'll get ready to start the show here in just a moment with the picks and for a few more comments from you guys here today, ready to go on the first day of the NHL season. There's also NBA preseason action that'll start before that. We've got a game coming to us on the NBA network from United Arab Emirates. So this game starts in just 2.5 hours between the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, if we're going to have a game over in UAE, we're not going to be bringing the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, that's for sure. So Celtics and Nuggets. Yeah, we're going to see some other players in there, but they're definitely going to have a game here in a little bit over in United Arab Emirates. Kind of like when they when the UAE has a UFC card, right? And they send the card to the PIF, the guy who, they run all the sports in Arab Emirates, right, in the Middle East, in Dubai, and then they send back the card to Dana White and say, you better work on this a little bit. We need a few. We're not going to settle for this. We're paying millions and billions, so get us the right card, and we'll see a good game today there as well. No games in baseball today after the yesterday, but we're back tomorrow with my Padres taking on the Dodgers. One thing of note, the Dodgers have mixed up their rotation there a little bit. I'm showing Yamamoto as a starter for game 1 this weekend as they move Flaherty to game 2, and that's so they can grab Yamamoto on the back end in a game 5. So maybe the right strategy, maybe not. Sounds like Dodger fans may have preferred having Flaherty go in game 1. So we'll see this weekend. 4 games in college football today. 5 games in college football. I have a pick for you in the game between New Hampshire and Harvard as well here on the show. There are 2 games tonight in the CFL, and WNBA. We're ready for the semifinals here with 2 rocking matchups here now that we get ready for Minnesota and Connecticut and the Liberty against the Aces as we continue on in those 2 series, and we'll see what happens now with the change of scenery here tonight. All right. Who else we got in here? Anybody else showing up? Nicholas Handy here. John Charles here today as well. He says, how about the Mets? Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. And Howie got a lot of love from the Mets on that plane when they played his exciting call of the game. All right. Oh, Justin, how did I not? Is it on my Facebook? And I always make fun of not make fun of the Facebook, certainly there, but darn it, how did I miss that? Maybe that's why. Over on Facebook, I always run my show over there, and none of my old school family or friends say hi, so I'm glad I got Justin. All right. I think Patrick's saying bet on the Oilers this season. Is that what he's saying right there? And what else? Irish King clearing it up. Let's get started with the show, shall we? Like I said, just an interesting show today because of all the different sports that we got going on. I'm going to try to preview. Well, there is some, domestic football and soccer action from Europe. I don't think we're going to touch on it today necessarily, but got a couple of games in Italy, got a game in Spain, and my Tijuana Cholos are going to play Pachuca tonight I'm sure it's going to be a draw, I would think, tonight, but also a Bundesliga game, League One, all the Friday fixtures, a featured game in all the leagues tonight, it feels like. So have a little soccer coverage here today as well. All right, let's get ready. Look says it could be a big day today. I would expect it to be. Let's go. Start. Where do you want to start? I think you start with the start of the season. Don't you guys? With the Devils taking on the Sabres from Prague in the Czech Republic. And you definitely have the Sabres here. Going to be a favorite. in this one, they're the better team right now, the better team coming into the season. The Sabres, well, they're exciting, I think we can say, and they should be improved. They should have been probably a little bit better than they were last year. Maybe the injuries kind of caught up with them a little bit, and their budding star really didn't have the moments of brilliance certainly for Thompson, but I think we're expecting more from him this year. We'll probably get it. We might get it in this 2-game series from Thompson here. It just feels to me like you take this situation where you've got the Sabres. They've already played a couple of. They've been over there. They played already in the Czech Republic last week, and you have the Devils that. Well, they came over on Monday. They left on Monday, I believe, and they're not in the same situation. They're coming in kind of as the visitors in a way. The Sabres have been there working on the season, working on their preseason a little bit. And it's the Devils that are coming in with a little bit of, travel here, later travel, if you will. Also, maybe a few injuries here on the defensive side to start the season for the Devils. So I've got to think the Sabres are certainly live in this game at this price here. I think maybe the site will bring a certain level of volatility. It seems to me like you can get a plus $1.25. That's what you want to do in this situation. Look at that total, 6.5 under 20. Yeah, look, I know the Sabres can certainly, increase their scoring this year, be better offensively. That's really what we want to see, it feels like, from the Sabres this season to kind of get it going. So, they were great at scoring goals, it felt like, over the last year or two, and should have made the playoffs, except for that. Well, you know what happened, so it wasn't a great situation there at the end of the season, but they probably should have found their way in the season. Maybe they just a little bit too passive in a way. Definitely need to step it up a little bit defensively this season, and maybe improve that power play a little bit. You'd think with Rasmus, they would be a little bit stronger on the power play, and I'm sure they'll improve that here this season. So I want to take the Sabres in this one, maybe even grab them plus a goal just to make sure here if you want to make, get that money back in case the Devils do win here. But at this price, in the first game where, maybe if you didn't have the Sabres being the underdog here, it might be, what would it be? I'm trying to think of what it might be if it was Devils at the Sabres, right? But I'm going to take Buffalo here at this price. I think we can agree. New Jersey, the better team right now, but playing this game in the Czech Republic, I want to take the Sabres in this one to start the season with a win. Or, they might just hang in there and lose by one. No, nonetheless, I'm on them. All right, let's see if we got any comments here for you guys. Hopefully you were a little bit ready for hockey and saw it coming. If not, the season will start, big time next week. But hey, hello to Lucky Power today. Always doing a great job here. Robert McCormick likes the under 6.5, and I wasn't sure what the situation is, why this one looks high, looks like a high total now. Maybe beginning of the season or whatever. I don't even think we have the goalies necessarily. Looks like Luukkonen for sure in goal here right now, but I don't think we've actually heard Markstrom in there officially just yet. Don't see why it wouldn't be, but Luukkonen was in the morning skate here, and it was announced about an hour and a half ago that he was in the starter's crease. So I'm going to grab Buffalo, see what else we got. Lando says he's got Thompson here, it looks like, for 4 or more shots on goal at plus $1.20. And he likes over 1.5 in the first period. All right, I guess that's it. Okay, here comes Fernando. He's got Hughes and an anytime goal in this one, so I appreciate it, gang. as we get the season underway here. We'll be previewing every game every day this season, until we get down to maybe some teams that don't belong and the schedule gets a little heavy with baseball and all that. But that's months away. And right now we're here in the early October, ready for the NHL regular season game here today to enjoy our Friday morning and afternoon. And thank you to Malik. Malik's here today. All right. And that's it for the season opener. Appreciate you guys. All right. You'll be ready to go, I'm sure, once the full regular season gets underway. Let's go to college football now. It feels like the WNBA, college football. Come on. I love the WNBA, but I'm going to go to college football here next in our rotation, and especially with our 4 or 5 game schedule here today, feels like it feels kind of fun. Take a look at this one here with Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State. In this one, you have Jacksonville State coming in 1-3 this year. Kennesaw State's 0-4. Maybe we should have started with the WNBA, but we've got some other good ones here. So far, Jacksonville State, they played some, rough games so far, giving up massive points. They're allowing in those losses, it feels like almost 50 points a game. Probably, 47 or 48 points a game in those losses here for Jacksonville State. But they're still a 2-touchdown favorite on the road here or more. You look at that line, 16.5 here. Opener of 14.5 at a lot of spots. Look, I'm not going to give it out as a premium. I really think Jacksonville State should be able to beat up on 0-4 Kennesaw State. The Owls lost to UT Martin 27-13, and I kind of would equate that a little bit close. Remember, Jacksonville State, these two teams kind of graduating here recently to a Division I play. So I would think here Jacksonville State is going to be the much better team. Kennesaw, this is their first year, remember, in 1A. So far, Kennesaw State 1-2 as an underdog against the spread at home. They're also 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games, coming off of a loss dating back to some of last year's play at the lower level. So far, Kennesaw's gone under in all 3 of their games against FBS opponents so far. So Jacksonville State's been the opposite. They've gone over in 3 of their last 4. So I think Kennesaw State is going to have a hard time actually scoring against Jacksonville State. I think that's what's going to end up being the determining factor in this game. Is I'm going to take Jacksonville State after lay 16.5. That's why it's my free play on the show. I think it's just probably a little bit high now, but I still think it would be more likely that Jacksonville State rolls Kennesaw here by 3 touchdowns rather than Kennesaw having a chance to keep it within 2 scores today. So this is a conference game now, and Jacksonville State kind of rolled through in that first 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 conference games here. So, all right, let's take a look, see what you guys have here in this one. If anything, as we get rolling here on the football, Jermaine said just one hockey game. Is he confirming it or asking it? Because, yeah, just one. Thomas, though, says he's got to take these points at home. And M. Look says, I got to do it as well. I got to take those points. Just too many. All right. Robert likes the under here in this one. I think I do too, my man. All right. And let's see what else. JW talking about the upcoming game we're going to preview as well. And here's Robert says Jacksonville State minus 9.5 in the first half. Get started here a little bit. I'm going to take Jacksonville State here so far. Last week, they were forcing turnovers, doing things with their defense, and I think that could be the big difference here in this one up against the Owls. All right, keep it rolling right now. I think you guys got all of your comments in on this one, so I'll move to the little bit bigger matchups here and take a look at, well, another 16.5 point favorite here with TCU at home against Houston in this one. The total's up here to 51. At this point for Houston, they come in 1-4, 0-2 so far in conference play. Houston had failed to score in both of their conference games so far. This one doesn't feel like it's going to be much better. They may be able to get some points here, it feels like, against TCU, but still it does feel like a pretty tough matchup. Still, I'm showing handicappers are preferring Houston in this one. Maybe almost by a 2-to-1 ratio here at this point. And they also heavily favor the under. The steam came in on the over here in this one. I think it was as low as 49, and now we're looking at, like I said, 51. Circa opened the game even higher than this. I mean, that's interesting of note here. I'm going over in this one. I think TCU has no problem here scoring points. They've given up some big-time points too, but they're also playing a much, much weaker opponent here. It feels like, they've given up so far in those losses that they had. They're 3-2, by the way, 1-1 in conference, but the 2 losses they have, they gave up 35, they gave up 66. So they have a sophomore there at quarterback here, and Houston definitely has the more experienced quarterback, but just feels like TCU is the stronger, much stronger team to me. It feels like, I get it, 16, it's easy to say, but TCU has won and covered the last 6 meetings between these two teams, although to be fair, they've only met once in the last 15 or so years. So not going to put too much into that, but maybe we're back at square one a little bit for the Cougs here in this one. Cougars just 6-12-1 against the spread in their last 17 conference games, and they're also just 5-8-2 against the spread coming off of a loss. Now, I'm going over, but I will tell you that Houston has gone under in all 5 of their games so far this season. However, TCU has gone over in all of their games against FBS opponents so far this season. So I've got it going over here. I think Houston runs it up a little bit. TCU runs it up a little bit here on Houston in a high-scoring game, and maybe that high score will allow them to maybe get this one by 3 touchdowns. Let's see if you guys have anything here with TCU and Houston tonight. Thomas is going to lay those big points, but M. Look says, I got to take him again. I got to take these 16 points. Jermaine says, back on that other game, I got to get this one in. Team total under. M. Look's also ready to go on that next game with Michigan State and Oregon. A little bit ahead of us here. And Robert says Smith has not looked great. I mean, it gets senior privileges here, I guess, a little bit at quarterback. And in the end, he says Houston just gets worn down by TCU. I probably agree with that wholeheartedly. I'll have premium picks on, I think, every game here tonight, including this one. You know who I'm on, but I'm giving out the over here. I give out all the premium plays practically every time. So, yeah, I ask you to subscribe over there at Winnable. But again, you're probably getting the picks, and I just ask you to support me here to keep coming back on the channel. All right. Appreciate that. Let's go now to the big game of the night here. Well, maybe one of the 2 big games of the night. I guess depends how you look at it. But I think, when you're talking about Big Ten action here, let's take a look at Michigan State and Oregon. Ooh, look at this one, 23.5. And 52 right now in this one. Wow. Who was saying it? Michigan, which Michigan State will show up? I guess that would be the question here. Look, Michigan State 3-2, 1-1 in conference so far, but they've lost two in a row here now. Um, the offense definitely struggling a little bit for sure. Yeah, the games were tough, but now you're playing Oregon on the road in this new alignment, doing things you never done before, right? We know Oregon's great. We know Oregon's tough. Yeah, maybe there are, uh, for 4-0, it doesn't quite feel like. Let me get a steam play here. This is the morning steam, man. So we got our first steam move coming up right now. And it's a game where, you know what? I was kind of agreeing with what I saw here, but we'll see tonight. I'm showing a move right now on the total in the Lakers and Timberwolves. This game is being played in Palm Springs tonight. Um, the Timberwolves are favored in the game by 4 points right now. The move is on the Timberwolves for sure here, but more so the total here going over now up to 220 with the Timberwolves and the Lakers here tonight in that preseason opener for the Lakers. And again, that one is being played in Palm Desert tonight. So not necessarily a home game, although it is in California. All right, continue on here with Michigan State and Oregon in this one. And for Michigan State here in this one, and you got, I don't know if it's much of a connection when you got, Coach Smith and the quarterback coming over from Oregon State. I don't know if that's an angle or anything like that. It just feels pretty interesting here. In this matchup, but you're going against an Oregon team right now, 4-0, 1-0 in conference here at this point. They've looked pretty strong offensively for sure. Last two games, they've put up nearly 1,000 yards, about 1,000 yards of total offense here with Gabriel. Gabriel's picking up, a lot of momentum here at this point. In the Heisman race and in overall talk about his effective play so far this season. They've got a pretty good offensive line, a veteran offensive line here, certainly. And, well, with Coach Lanning, Oregon is in a terrific favorite. I mean, it's really hard to beat some of these numbers from Lanning in his career so far. Lanning 17-7 against the spread as a favorite so far with Oregon. So pretty good. Ducks are also 14-4 against the spread, their last 18 conference games. Now, this is a different setup. This is a different conference. Know that. But still, Oregon off to a blistering start so far. So I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks to win this one and smash Michigan State. Which Michigan State shows up, I get that. I just feel like the quirkiness of this schedule right now, going up against a team like Oregon that maybe, just maybe, hasn't really shown everything. Maybe they're not that team after all. Maybe they're not a championship contender. Maybe they're just outside that. But until they lose, they are obviously an FBS title contender. So still, they need to win this one by more than 24 points to get the cover. I don't know if I can do it as a premium, but I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks. I hope Michigan State can get some kind of offense on track and make this an interesting game, but I don't know if they're gonna. So for Smith, I think that one thing you could equate it to, he obviously faced the Oregon Ducks. I'm talking about Coach Smith now of the Spartans. He obviously faced the Ducks 6 times and went 3-3 against the spread and 2-4 straight up. Anybody got anything here? Michigan State and Oregon tonight in a Big Ten matchup. So weird, some of these games, but doesn't it feel like the way that some of the conferences are shaken down and maybe some teams are going back a little bit, that maybe it'll just end up like it was before? I don't know. I guess some of these big teams are never leaving now. All right, let's take a look here. We got Thomas saying he likes the under here in this one, and yeah, unless Michigan State can get it going, I would think that would be the case. Robert, maybe that might have been the last game. Oh no, because there it is. Okay, Robert, under 52. There it is. All right. And Jermaine says I can't pass on 24 points with power conference teams. I think is what he's saying here. And Oregon with the Beavers on deck. Is it something they're concerned with here? A non-conference game on deck? Maybe it means more now because of what happened. But I think this game is probably the one that, yeah, you might have a civil war, but Ohio State. Robert, don't. We already played that game. We already played the Civil War. What's going on there? He means Ohio. I got you, man. Maybe I should be looking ahead on the schedule here. Don't make fun of me. Rich Stubbs, Rich is here. Nice to see you, Rich. Must be football season. Hi, Rich. Good to have you over. And Michigan State with the points. And Jermaine looking at that basketball game there. And what's going on in some of those trades. We haven't even talked about the trades, it feels like, right? From the NBA. The deal last week, Malik likes the over, Robert likes the under. And look says that could be a look ahead here. And you'd wonder, with the way the conference is shaken down. And you guys are really targeting that look ahead spot. And Justin also says take the 24 points in the look ahead spot here. Take those points. So it sounds like I'm a little bit solo here in this one, taking the Oregon Ducks to roll Michigan State in this one. Oh man, Rich, I'm so glad. Thank you for putting in the effort to find us over here. And yeah, I've had some hiatuses here, but I don't plan them. It's just happened that way before. I was actually, remember a couple times I was suspended or by that other channel. I said it can't go on the air, and I was, it didn't make any sense to me. That's kind of why I'm over here a little bit too. Things just didn't make sense to me with what was going on there. So I'm here now. This is where I want to be, here with Mike Money and the Sports Money Network, something where I could help these guys grow their channel and be a part of it too, and feel like part of a team, part of a family. So I'm here now. All right, Redbeard also taking those points with MSU. I'm the guy to lay in the points here. Oh, Rich is with me here. He says, what is he saying? Over's the public play. So, and with the look ahead spot, he's going to go, I believe he's saying go Oregon and under. So I think Rich and I are back together again. It feels like not only in the on the show here, but with our picks. All right, a couple more here right now. Next up, I want to look at this one here. Well, what a game it's going to be tonight, right here, just minutes away from where the Morning Steam satellite studios are. Really, not just probably 10 minutes away here. And UNLV tonight will be taking on Syracuse. How about that? All right. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Well, in this one, so the Rebels. Hey, look. If anything, with the Rebels, they've made noise not only with their 4-0 start, but the controversy certainly with the quarterback leaving. But hey, with Williams, I think you're just fine here. Williams was an experienced quarterback coming in. Yeah, maybe he didn't have the work here with the Rebels so much with the previous quarterback there, but this guy played, basically 3 seasons at Campbell, 3 plus seasons at Campbell as the quarterback, and they were always pretty fine. So, Rebels, this is the first time in 40 years that they are 4-0 right now, and it feels good to these folks here in Las Vegas. I'm getting the feel. I've followed this program, being from Southern California and UNLV a rival. Certainly, I've followed this program for years. I've been to the old Sam Boyd Silver Bowl here, where they used to, hey, if the Rebels weren't covering the spread or they needed the total, they'd turn out the lights, kind of. Anyway, Rebels doing it with defense too. I think that's been probably one of the more impressive parts of their game so far. Really, just allowing in their three FBS games just 21 points, or not even that. I think 14 points so far this season in those games. So Mountain West has been doing pretty well so far in these non-conference games at home. They've covered 4 out of the 5 games so far this season. UNLV, a long-term number here. This is about a 5 or 6 year sample, but they are 18-5 against the spread in non-conference games. So, look, the quarterback quit. The team rose up. They didn't need no guy in the, unless you're some superstar. There's no need for that at this point. Good luck to him. But Barry Odom, 18-11 at home against the spread as a home favorite, and UNLV 13-3 with Odom as head coach so far against the spread. So he's covered numbers here. I'm going to go under in this game. I think what we see from UNLV is an underrated defense here at this point. I don't know if Syracuse is necessarily, the steam came in on Syracuse. I don't know if Syracuse is necessarily on par right now, even with UNLV here. So I'm going under, though, at 57. Make sure that's right. Probably 56.5 here at most places now, it feels like. Let me see what you guys have here in the chat. Handicappers are definitely favoring UNLV here from my reporting in this one. And as far as the sharps are concerned, they came in on the over early and been hitting the under quite a bit. It was as high as 59.5 or even 60. So the money's been kind of strolling in the sharper money, it feels like, here on the under, and that's where I'm going to go tonight. Take the under with Syracuse and the Rebels. All right, here we go. Next. Oh, thanks, Rich. Oh, if you guys don't mind, me and Rich going to do. Rich, I just have these up, and it's not like before. Ramon's not charging $25, $35, $45 a day for his picks anymore. I'm just charging a few bucks, really just to garner support and keep me coming back here on the channel. So I have a nice little app that I'm running with, a pretty good little app that these guys have, Winnable. Actually, it's not even an app. It's a browser based, but if you go over there, you'll find my store. You can get it on your device or on your computer, and you just see it here. Let me show how it comes up, and right there, and then it's got Apple Pay and Google Pay and stuff like that, and it goes through Stripe. So it's really a legitimate payment processor, one of the most popular in the world here at this point for sure. And then I have the picks available there, and I also have a free pick service here for everybody. It gets some complimentary plays. See how I work, see if I do good work, or just get some free plays from me every day. I send out between 2 and 5 updates per day to each of the free plays and the paid plays, and of course I'll have high volume. Thanks, Rich. It's so good to see you, and I'm really nice to have you follow me over here. This is where we're at. Okay, here we go. Redbeard is on the Q's, but Thomas is on UNLV. Justin says take Syracuse +7 in this one. And Rich says take Syracuse and over. So don't get my picks today, Rich, because we might not be. We were just clicking on the last game, and now I think we're opposite on that one. Robert agrees with me. UNLV defense at this level, right? We're not playing. Syracuse got a nice. Let me not bury Syracuse here in their 3-1 record. They're looking pretty darn good. Especially with McCord doing a pretty great job. No doubt about it. I just think this UNLV might be having something special here at this level, and I think that this is definitely a doable game here. You got Syracuse coming in to Las Vegas here a little bit, so Might be something to that. Syracuse just 1-6 on the against the spread as a road underdog over the last 2 seasons. And Joey says he likes UNLV's team total over here in this one. I guess Robert here kind of going with me maybe a little bit. And Oldie, what do you say? Oh, 3-1 last night. Good job. Robert says he's got McCormick under or McCord. I see what you did there. He's got McCord to go under in his passing yards. Rich says I took the under at a better price. Wait a minute. I thought Rich said he went over. Hold on here, Rich. What's going on? All right. Joey says, these home games, though, the Rebels are really enjoying the home field here. And look, I think this is one thing I mentioned before, right? While I think playing their games in Allegiant Stadium for Vegas, it's not like it's sometimes when the college team plays at the pro stadium, and maybe it's real close. I mean, it's really just right past the airport there a little bit, and you're at the stadium. So it's like a home game, and I think that Vegas will benefit from their surroundings at Allegiant Stadium. I believe recruits, whereas maybe it's been hard for years. We know it's been hard for UNLV to get top-notch talent. Not everybody out there is Randall Cunningham. But this is going to help UNLV play in that beautiful stadium, it feels like. Old E, thank you so much for gifting a membership here to someone. And thank you, M. Looks. That's so nice of you. Right. I think there is value in the picks here a little bit with me now. Redbeard, thank you for gifting a membership. Man, you guys are so cool. This is the first time, over here I've been able to experience that. I'm still trying to figure out although I'm a member on many channels, except for Razor's channel. At this point, apparently I'm not subscribed to Razor's channel, and now I'm on his bad list. I'll find it, Razor. I'll just Venmo you. Maybe I can get Razor's picks here on these other. I'm on the Winnable. I know some of those guys are on there's SoBet, there's Pickett. What are some of these others I'm trying to think of? But Dub Club wouldn't have me. Dub Club said, no, thank you. Dub Club didn't want me. I wasn't good enough for everybody else is on Dub Club, but they said, we don't think you're quite good enough for our team, I guess. So I love I love this Winnable app so far. Really good. They've been really nice people reaching out to me, and feel really good. I'll also have a promo code there on that. Okay, you guys, we're still here on the UNLV game, but I think we're done. I think you got your comments in. We got our plays in, and I'm going to be on the under here in this one. And everybody's making friends on Facebook. I always say, Facebook is like your grandma. That's where they're all hanging out. That's where the grandmas hang out. But maybe I'm not getting my friends in order there. All right, here we go. Let's continue on. I got one more pick for you in football. New Hampshire's playing Harvard today in this one. I won't go too much into it, but I do have the over here at 50.5. It did dip down from 52.5. Right now, the line is it opened Harvard as the favorite here in this one, I believe. Or no, I have it backward. Okay, it opened New Hampshire as the favorite here at -2.5 and 52.5 for the most part at most of the books. Or any books that we're offering it kind of early. Mostly FanDuel had it up kind of early. And it has since switched to Harvard in this one. I don't know about the side here, but I am going to go with the total over here in this one. I've seen some sharp action for sure. The sharps are on the under, and I'm going with the over here. So I just want to let you know that move that came in, taking it down from 52 and to 50.5, was some steam that came in there at FanDuel. FanDuel's been offering this game all week. They're the ones that have kind of started with New Hampshire, the favorite, and now Harvard's the favorite. A lot of books don't even have this game up yet. They will. It's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific today, and I'm giving out the over in this game as my play here today. Fifth game. We got a fifth game you can keep your eye on here in this one. Anybody picking this one? And you can you can be my friend on Facebook too, you guys. I'm on there. You'll find me. Anybody can't find me. If you just type in into Google, I'm pretty much right there. If you type like Ramon Scott, there's another guy. There's another Ramon Scott out there. I've actually talked to him because I was like, wow. And he's a gentleman in Mexico. Okay. Jermaine's, I'm on X. You guys know that, though. Okay, I think that's it. You guys are talking social media. And I'm ready to move on a little bit, right? Just like my phone, too. That's why I need my iPhone 16, so I can show you the winnable product better. And everybody says, Ramon, your phone, you never pick up. I never hear it ring. I got this during the pandemic, and I need a new phone. So subscribe to my picks. Or let's get some winners tonight. Okay, I've got more action here for you guys. We're going to jump right to it and go to the W here in this one. But I hope I got it clear there. I was on the under in Syracuse and UNLV. All right, let's go to the WNBA. Not a moment too soon here. Feels like we put them on the back burner a little bit for this big season here right now in the playoffs. And where we stand in the series, too, with the Lynx taking on the Sun here in this one. The series shifts now here to Connecticut. All right. Get ready with your picks here a little bit in this one, and we'll cover it here with these two teams playing game 3 of the series, of course. So far, Connecticut in that first, or Minnesota in that first game, they dropped it, of course, to AT and the Sun. So this series comes in at 1 apiece here. The last game was 77-70. Minnesota was able to get the money there at home as a 5-point favorite, but they failed to win in that first game there. So teams come in split at 1 apiece here in this one. Now, look, the first 2 games, you had 143 points scored in game 1. That was the Connecticut win. And 147 points in game 2. That was the Minnesota win. 151.5. They didn't reach that in the first 2 games. Shift it back here to Connecticut now. I think I want to go under again, actually, here in this one. Connecticut 16-23 to the under this season. Minnesota's 15-24 to the under so far this season. Both teams have gone under in 6 of the last 9 games overall, with a push in there, I believe. So I want to go under again right now. It feels like the way these two teams, you have maybe the best defenses here, at least stacked up against one another in this one. So I think at 151, I'm tend to go under. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but remember the last 2, the playoff games here, have gone under. Connecticut is 1-5 against the spread at home against the Lynx, but they have won 16 of the last 22 meetings here between these two teams in a long-term sample in this game. So I think for me, the deciding factor here, I think that maybe Connecticut will have an advantage against some of the. Let me get my player ratings up here. So McBride and Carlton, who've looked pretty okay so far, I think they were the ones that will be struggling here. I think Smith can have a good game. I think Collier is in for an average game for her, which is a good game here for Minnesota, certainly. And I think for Courtney Williams, she'll be fine as well. But I think for Connecticut in general, now Brianna Jones, maybe a little bit tough matchup uh, for her in this one, and her production last game was totally down, right, with just 2 points in 14 minutes. But I think they're making the right adjustments here. So I think with Alyssa Thomas again, big day, and everybody's talking about Bonner. Could this be her swan song? I'm going to take the under in this one, but maybe, just maybe, Connecticut here. Uh, I've been riding Minnesota a little bit. This one looks like the sharps are on Connecticut, and maybe that's where I'm going to end up going to. But I'm going to give out the under here on the show. Let's see what we got here. And Thomas will take Connecticut here. That Heat is back with Tom on MySpace. Anybody remembers that? Here's Justin is on the links in this one. Rich says Suns and under. Robert says sun and under. Rich says sun and under as well. And Marcus McCarthy here, member of the Sports Money Network, he says he's got the Sun at home. He also thinks it is an under here. Rich says if it goes under, it's the Sun. If it goes over, I think he meant the links there, but we know unless he's talking, he's kind of throwing in the other game there a little bit. We'll get to it in just a moment here. I think we're done with this one unless you guys got any more plays here. And a little bit more steam here. Listen to this, you guys. This is on that game right now. The line is moving here on this first NBA preseason game. It's going off in just 2 hours between the Celtics and the Nuggets. The total was 215 and a half, 2.6, and now it's going up. 216, it's 217 right now at Circa. We're getting some steam here in this one with the Celtics and the Nuggets. This one's in just 2 hours to get you started here on a Friday with some NBA preseason between the two awesome teams, Celtics and Nuggets. Steam coming in on the over right now in that one. And the line here is down to 2.5 again at Bet Online. It was 3.5. So the move is on the Nuggets and the move is on the over here in this one. We'll preview the games here and just, or at least we'll go over the schedule. I don't know if we'll have many. Maybe we'll have some picks. I have some written down, but the steam has me looking at the board here a little bit. All right. Appreciate you guys there in that WNBA game. The late game is going to be the Liberty and the Aces here in this one. And, I'm going to go with another under here in this one, you guys. I mean, come on. These two teams are, yes, we want to think about, the Liberty, they are terrific with their offense right now, looking good and everything. And yeah, it did go over last game. I lost my premium, so I'm going to shift it back to the free play here a little bit. I still want to go under with these two teams. Vegas has gone under in 8 of their last 10 games overall. New York has gone under in 8 of their 20 games on the road. The Aces, yeah, maybe they do have a little bit more higher scoring at home, but they're still just 10-10 over under at home this season. They're also just 16-22 to the under as a favorite. The Liberty have only been underdogs 3 times this season. They are 1-2 to the under in those 3 contests. The 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And New York, I mean, they play very, very well on the road here, but I don't know. I feel like this is where the Aces might be able to, get it together here a little bit. New York has been, what can you say? They've been a little bit dominant for the most part in this series right now. The Liberty have been winning all the head-to-head matchups here of late. So it feels like the Aces to me are due. I've been on the fade train a little bit with the Aces this season, but I think tonight might be the time for the Aces to wake up and get a victory here and make sure that they don't get swept out of here in this one after the 88-84 win by New York in the last game, and the game before it was 87-77. So New York got the money in the first one, and the last game was pretty much a push. I think we gave out the winner on the show when the line was a touch higher, but I know it ended pretty much 4. So let's see what you guys got here tonight. And Thomas says he's got the Aces. Rich says team total under for the Aces, and maybe all that drama has been a little bit too much this season, and a cohesive team like the Liberty can sweep the series here. I'm really portraying it the way I see it, too. I do think maybe we'll see if the Aces can get this win, if they can get another one. Got to get one first, obviously. Justin says, give me the Aces in the first half. Tariq is on the Aces here. And, yeah, Coach, she had some poignant words at the end of in her press conference last time out. Makes me think that maybe there's a little bit of refocus here for the Aces, and Robert is on the under here in this one with me. All right, so enjoy WNBA tonight. Definitely, we had them down to the end of the show here, but seems like some of the best games tonight. Big time in the WNBA, this doubleheader here. All right, I think you guys got your plays in. I'm on the under. Handicappers are, let me look at this here. About 2-to-1 ratio, I'd say, on the Aces tonight, the paid cappers. All right. I got a little bit more action just to cover here real quick. I don't know if we have some play. Oh, let me get these out too. I got some. These are some good games tonight here in the Carla Football League. In this one, where is Carla Brown here? I mean, we make a whole segment named after her, and maybe she's out there. I better not say anything awful about Carla not showing up. Okay, Bombers and the Tiger Cats. Man, the Tiger Cats have been awesome here of late. They took the steam. Now, look, the Bombers are hot too, obviously, here. Both teams are scorching against the number right now. Winnipeg, yeah, they're probably the better team. Right now, Winnipeg looks like they got the best defense here in the league again at this point. But Hamilton has been so good. I'm willing to take a field goal, I think, here tonight in this one with these two teams right now. Yeah, it's about 3. It was higher for sure. Maybe there's some money rolling in on the Tiger Cats in this one. Look, I'm not going to say that it's not going to be difficult here, but if it is a lower scoring game, like maybe it will be under 50.5, feels like I might have a play here that I'll send out later on this game, but still think it's going to be a little bit tough for the Tiger Cats offensively, but if they can just play good defense here at home, where we know they have been much improved here right now, things are looking a lot better here, and I would think tonight I can get a touchdown from Butler, I can get a touchdown from White, and maybe even from Smith here, and Bo Levi can probably outperform Caleros, I would think, maybe right now, even with that great Winnipeg defense right now. I think Bo Levi Mitchell can at least outstat Caleros. Hopefully it'll prevail in the win column, or at least with the spread here. But look, Brady Oliveira has been just terrific here so far, certainly one of the best in the league, and he had that monster game against Edmonton the 2 games back. They played Edmonton, of course, back-to-back, did Winnipeg here recently. And also, you got to think Wilson here. But Dembski, man, I wish I would have done a little bit of Dembski had that great game last time, 2 touchdowns, but I thought he was banged up here a little bit coming in. I'll have to look into that here, so I don't have that one here on the show. But I'm going to end up here on Hamilton in this one. All right. And hello to Keith. Did a great job. I saw him on this channel. I saw him on Sports Money Network, and he's all over the place. He's one of the hottest names in all the YouTube capping space, my man, Keith, with I love to say, I don't even know, I just think of all the great. Who is your favorite track announcer, Keith? Because I think of, when I see each and every stride, I think of like Trevor Dent, drawing away with each and every stride, moving like a winner. So let me know, Keith. Who's your favorite track announcer? My actually Trevor Denman, probably of course my all-time favorite, being a Delmar guy, and but I liked Harry Henson too when I was a kid. He was before Trevor Denman, but I think if I had to go out of Southern California, that was that was my Durban, South Africa accent, Tom. Okay, Trevor Denman from Durban, and away they go. And of course, one of the greatest calls of all time, I thought, was when Trevor Denman called Zenyatta, when Zenyatta came from the clouds, remember? And remember, and Zenyatta was coming from, from where Zenyatta comes from, right? This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance. One will never forget. And I'm crying now, think about it, a horse winning that race, the lady beating the men in that Breeders' Cup race. What a race that was with Zenyatta. I love Zenyatta. And Tom Durkin for Keith says, and if I had to actually go a little bit off the board, I would say that my all-time favorite outside of Trevor Denman is John Dooley. I think no one describes the setup of a race like John Dooley, the old Arlington. He was at Arlington, the Chicago, Chicago announcer, Chicago circuit announcer. I think John Dooley is probably my favorite because of his just his uh, countenance, if you will, the way he sets up the race so beautifully in a crescendo almost with the way he just was describing the placement of the horses, how they're going on the back straight, and then when they hit the John Dooley, for me, he is the man for me in race calling. Okay. Anyways, got one more game here with the Calgary Stampeders taking on the BC Lions tonight. We did see some steam come in on BC. I think it's probably 8.5 or 9 here, right? No, it's still 8. Okay, it's still 8. I would think this is going to be a one-sided game, quite frankly. I'm going to give out the under here as my play with Calgary. They're 4-9. I think coming in, they're struggling certainly. And look, I like Jake Mayer, but I'm just not sure that he's got the targets and the weapons here. He'll keep firing. It feels like, no doubt about it right now. But last week, 25 of 31 for just 197 yards. So these guys are having trouble getting clear, getting open. Yeah, he's got Beggleton. Certainly, Mills is doing a good job at running back. But other than that, maybe Mark and Michelle also, but I'm going to take the under in this one. Look, Rourke is great. We know Rourke is, maybe he's inconsistent here, certainly, but uh, 22 of 36 for 264 in the loss to Hamilton, and BC's lost 2 straight games right now. Stanback is playing pretty well right now. He had those 2 monster games certainly a few weeks back, and he had 103 yards rushing last time to give BC some great balance here. I'm going to go with the under as my play in this one between Calgary and BC. BC should be able to handle this. I don't mind the steam here. I really think it will be tough for Calgary tonight to get enough points here to make this one go over, and BC may be the team to cover as well in this one. So hopefully we'll see some CFL action tonight. And yeah, just, that's what it is. If anybody had, get a chance to listen to a race call of his, they're all the same pretty much. Okay. Thank you, Oldie, for doing those memberships as well. Let me run over the NBA games here real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, we've already talked about these moves, so I don't know if I have any pick right now. Let me see. I'll bring up my ratings here for the preseason. I'm ready to go, but Let me see here. Okay, make sure we get these lines right too. This game is in 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours right now. Tonight in the Czech Republic, Boston and Denver. It's down to mostly three, but I'm seeing some 2.5s out there, and this total now at 216.5. I did report, right, that the steam there was on the over, but it was a little bit higher. I was showing 217.5 actually when I first chimed in with it, and I like the over actually. So at 216.5, look, these are some preseason games. Don't get carried away. You don't need me to tell you that. I'm just saying. I'm going to make a pick here, though, and go with the over here in the Celtics and the Nuggets. Come on, this game is going to have 240 points today, isn't it? No matter who is out there playing, I would think we got just an exhibition on our hands with a high scoring game with these two teams. They're not going to be hunkering down. The only question is the offense is good enough with plenty of reserve players in there playing it out, but maybe that will even help it there every time. So just telling the game, giving the games here a little bit. All right. Next up is going to be the New Zealand Breakers of the NBL coming in here to take on the Utah Jazz. Look, the NBL, the NBL has moved to ESPN Plus, I believe. So you can check out a lot of their games this season. I'm going to have plays in the NBL here momentarily. I like that league, and I like the fact that their games are in the middle of the night when I'm usually hanging out, getting ready for the show, or me and my partying lifestyle here. But look, in this one, I don't know. I think the Breakers are, certainly an established team here, and I don't think it's like some of the other times we've seen and we'll see in the preseason. Some of the teams from maybe some other countries that come in. I think the Breakers here. I'm going to take them here plus 28 points in this one. I like the NBL. I think they've got good teams here. The NBA certainly scouts some of the NBL players. We haven't seen, just a handful of them, not even that, get offered a contract here. NBL is a nice league with great crowds. So I'm going to take the Breakers here plus 28 against the Jazz. It's 27.5 at a few places right now. So Jazz definitely have a lot to improve on this season. And, they were 31-51 right last year. So they've got a lot to work on, certainly coming into this season. This is also early in the season here for the NBL teams. They're just getting started as well. So, all right. And one more here tonight. Like I said, this one will be played in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, and it'll be the Lakers here. They're actually getting 4.5 now here from the Timberwolves. We'll see what the Lakers look. JJ Redick, I think it's a big question mark. I don't mind the hire here, but it does feel like maybe LeBron's handpicked his man. You definitely need a guy who's going to come in here and kind of adhere to what LeBron wants to do with his son on the roster. Look, I think Bronny James, I'm just talking about it now a little bit, because of his dad it will make him a little bit more of a competent player. I think he can be an NBA player. How much time he sees, he's not going to get cut. I mean, I believe, we may be starting that first game just out of, I don't know, the word I'm thinking of. I don't necessarily want to say it, but if there's nepotism, hey, what are you going to do? It's LeBron James and wants to play with his son. Is he holding this franchise hostage? Probably. The pressure's on LeBron, and he doesn't have any pressure, really. He's running the show, but doesn't mean they're going to be a good team because of that. I do think they're kind of straightening things away here. I think Redick is the man to kind of clean things up a little bit, judging from what you've seen so far, the comments from D'Angelo Russell this week here. The Wolves, obviously, they're big news with the trade and everything like that. So, is it for the better? Maybe it is for the Wolves, actually. Whether or not it'll affect this game here tonight, I'm not sure, but I think the Timberwolves will roll the Lakers in the preseason opener tonight. I think the Lakers are probably in big trouble actually this season, but I'm a Lakers fan, so I don't want to get too down on them here at this point. I'll root more for the Clippers here this year, I think. And I'll say, hopefully, you enjoy NBA preseason action here tonight. And all right, and let's see here. I think that's it. Yep, Thomas, that is NBL. NBL is the New Zealand Breakers, definitely. Appreciate that. Am I lying? Says Bronny is a bum. No, I don't know. I have to disagree with Am I. Is he an NBA player? Probably not. Is he the son of LeBron James? That we know. And I think it'll make, I think within the structure of the way they need to do things because of LeBron and Bronny, I think Bronny will be an okay player on the court. Probably not average or even close to average, but look, I've won enough championships with the Lakers. If we want to play it out this, and maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe the rest of the team will surprise us here this season. And Russell, now that I can name my line, that I might be able to get behind a little bit here. But again, the Lakers are going to go with who LeBron goes with here. No, am I lying? Remember, this is a young man that had, a serious heart ailment. Remember, and in fact, I would think that if not for the advances in athletic medicine, Bronny wouldn't be able to continue his career right now. Remember the story of Hank Gathers. He had a irregular heartbeat and suffered a collapse that it turned out to be turned out to lose his life on the court. Remember when he tried to come back, he had already had one episode passing out on the court with his heart ailment, got medication, worked back, and eventually, died on the court. Remember, in a conference semifinal game, a game that Eric Spoelstra played in, actually, when Hank Gathers passed away. So just pray for Bronny to be healthy and not have anything bad happen. Hey, that's it for the morning steam. You got. That's why I said we covered so many interesting sports today, and was totally interesting show today. So we'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific, here with me previewing the college football action tomorrow. We're going to be on for about 2.5 hours for sure, looking at all these college games. I've got pages and pages of college football games here, including the added board here and the main games as well. So I'll be ready to go tomorrow. We won't preview every game. You know how it works on Saturday. Just start calling out steam. I just say, I like this, I like that, I like this, and I like that. And you can catch me over at the Winnable app today for some more plays. I'm going to send out a bunch of plays here within the next hour or so. Maybe the whole card for the day with the, kind of a light card still. Might be able to make sure I get all my plays. I think I'm ready to go here. But check me out over at the Winnable app if you want to get these plays here today. I think it's like a couple of bucks for today's action. And also free plays will come up too, probably in the lower tiered games today, like NHL preseason. Maybe get to some men's tennis action tonight. I didn't go with anything on the card here, still in the early rounds. So now that moving into mostly second round and beyond, probably fire away on a little bit of tennis, even on a college football weekend here, college football Saturday coming up. So thanks to everybody for joining me here on the show today. Hopefully we covered all of your favorite sports, and I'll also have a few soccer plays, I think, here in the afternoon as I have a little breakfast and go over the games today, make some plays, send them out. So follow me on Winnable. You can save with the promo code STEAM. So why not sign up for a month? You'll get plays from me every day between 2 and 5 updates with a bunch of plays. Hey, you can tail them, you can fade them, or you can just say, you know what, Ramon's on this, I'm on that, whatever. Just a steady stream of information here that you'll get from me. This is what I do, and I'm so thankful that you have joined me here on the show every day. So hopefully, you'll be in touch with me there. And hey, if you have any suggestions, you can always leave them below, or you can find me on social media. I'm pretty easy to find there at Ramon Scott Media. I've also started another account here. Where is it? Where is it at? I can't even. There we go. Oh, there, the morning steam. And there I just send out the videos from the sports money team and from this show and some other things that pertain to sports betting. So if you want to follow a second account there on X, you could do that too. But Ramon Scott Media uh, X account there. You get a lot of sports picks, but you also get some Ramon Scott. You might get some other stuff. So that's if you want to know what I'm up to personally. I send out a lot of, sometimes I give some of those goofy opinions. I'm not quite Elon Musk, but sometimes I'll throw my opinion out there. I'm pretty middle of the road. Yeah, I'm maybe leaning a little left, but I'm a pretty realistic guy. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate all of you here for watching today. We're back tomorrow with a great show. Don't forget, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific tonight. It's Mike Money. And pre-gaming, he's got some games to cover here for sure tonight. He won't be able to half-ass it like yesterday with with just a couple of games, Mikey. He'll be going at it here tonight with the WNBA and the college football here for sure tonight. So we got a few more games for Mike. He might even cover, I would imagine, some college football this weekend on his weekday show. So please join him at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 Pacific for pre-gaming right here on the Sports Money Network. And also don't forget, also tomorrow, the guys will be there for UFC 307 with their live coverage as well, live betting coverage from Salt Lake City. All right, that's going to do it. Appreciate everybody. Catch you tomorrow here, more Morning Steam for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.